Western Canadian province Alberta traditionally relied on fossil fuels for its electricity generation. However, in recent years, Alberta has been shifting to more renewable sources such as wind and solar, which are abundant and low-emitting. According to the Alberta Electric System Operator, renewable generation has for the first time provided more electricity than coal. Blake Schaefer, University of Calgary, an electricity markets and climate policy economist.
When you look back in time, it's a pretty amazing and rapid change for our province. Also, several major wind and solar projects came online in the last half of 2022, and the full effects of that added capacity have yet to show up in the annual data. New installed wind turbines can generate more electricity than older ones, and many new solar panels are double-sided so they catch reflected light from the ground, which is especially effective in winter months at squeezing a bit of extra power out of the sunlight. The solar films are so cheap now that it makes sense to just put film on the backside of a solar panel, which you wouldn't think of anywhere else in the world, but here we get that reflection off the snow, which boosts the total generation.
Imagine a virus that has been frozen for thousands of years, lying dormant in the ice. Now imagine that this virus is revived by scientists and found to be potentially infectious. This is not a plot of a science fiction movie, but a reality that researchers have recently discovered in Siberia. Scientists have identified 13 new viruses that were trapped in permafrost for up to 48,500 years. The discovery of these zombie viruses, which belong to a group of giant viruses called pithoviruses, are raising concerns about the potential risks of melting permafrost due to climate change, which could release unknown and possibly harmful pathogens into the environment. Emeritus Professor of Medicine and Genomics Jean-Michel Claverie from Aix-Marseille University School of Medicine.
How long these viruses could remain infectious once exposed to outdoor conditions like UV light, oxygen, and heat, and how likely they will be to encounter and infect a suitable host in the interval, is yet impossible to estimate. But the risk is bound to increase in the context of global warming, in which permafrost thawing will keep accelerating, and more people will populate the Arctic in the wake of industrial ventures.
Stay tuned. The Colorado River is one of the most important water sources in the western United States, providing water to 40 million people across 7 states and 2 countries. However, this vital river is facing a severe water crisis due to a combination of factors, including chronic overuse of water resources, a historic drought that has lasted more than 2 decades, and a warming climate that reduces snowpack and increases evaporation. As a result, the river's flow and reservoir levels have dropped to alarming lows, threatening the water supply, hydropower, recreation, and ecological services that depend on it. If the reservoirs hit dead pool, meaning there is not enough water to flow past the dam, it could be a catastrophe. The year 2023 is a critical year for the Colorado River, as federal and state officials must find a way to balance the competing demands for water and avoid further depletion of the river. Washington-based correspondent Alexander Panetta reports.
If you look at the post-2020 water level in Lake Mead, it's declined precipitously. Well, you keep it up for another 3, 4, 5 years, and then suddenly, at this current pace, you're facing the inactive pool level, which is the rate at which power generation stops on that river system, and you continue another couple of years, and it's dead pool. So you're looking at a potentially catastrophic problem in 5 to 7 years. The federal government's sufficiently worried about this that they're about to step in and force everyone to cut their usage. They've warned that the crisis is afoot.
Nola, you're up.
Working. Assessment information in detail. The habitat where the species occurs is completely degraded due to lopping for firewood and cutting for timber. The habitat is under intense pressure from the surrounding villages as well as from insurgents who use forest resources for their existence and operations. It is assumed that the area of habitat has decreased over the years, but there is definitely a decline in quality of habitat for the spiders who seek cavities and deep crevices in old-growth forests. This species is categorized as critically endangered because of its range restricted to less than 100 square kilometers, single location, and continuing decline in habitat quality. Threats. Habitat loss and degradation are major threats. An additional threat to the species is collection by international pet traders, which could have an impact on the population. The 2 threats in tandem could result in the species extinction from the known location in the near future. An incident of smuggling was recorded in 2002 when 2 Europeans took a few specimens out of the country and advertised them for sale on the internet. Scientific name: Poecilotheria metallica. Common names: Peacock tarantula. Native to India, Jharkhand, West Bengal. IUCN Red List category and criteria. Critically endangered. This has been Olay and Ollie K. Boomer with NOLA Comms for your climate change report coming from downtown Alberta.